Hello and welcome to today's math lesson. So first of all, guys, can we all turn to wave and say a big hello to our friends on camera? Hello. And we'll begin by doing our meditation sequence. So I will sit down, take two fingers, find our heart center, left hand on our laps and close our eyes. And when you're ready, guys, you can open your eyes and come back to the room. Next, we'll do our stretch sequence. So let's stand up and push in our chairs. And we can begin by stretching up high to the sky. High as we can. And then let's go down low. Touch our toes. Back up high one more time. And this time, can we go tippy toe high? And while we're there, let's have a wave side to side. And then let's go down and touch our toes once more. Stand up straight, guys, and shake it out. Arms and legs, shake it out. Give it a good shake, arms and legs. And then we can do some rotations. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Excellent, guys. Now we'll do some stretches. Let's do 5 stretches to our right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 5 stretches to our left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent, guys. Now have a shake. Arms and legs, shake it out again. Have a nice shake out, arms and legs. And then we can take our right hand and find our left foot. then left hand, right foot. Right hand, left foot. Left hand, right foot. Right hand, left foot. Left hand, right foot. Excellent, guys. And to finish, we will do 5 claps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Have a seat. So welcome to today's math lesson. Now, who can tell me, guys, what type of graph did we begin learning how to do in the previous lesson? Line graphs, yes. Sometimes referred to as line charts. Like I've said earlier, with bar graphs or bar charts, pie charts or pie graphs, graphs and charts can be used intermissibly. They both mean the same thing. So now we're taking a look at line graphs. So let's write that phrase on the board first. Line is spelt L-I-N-E. How do we spell graphs, guys? R-A-P-H-S. So all together, line graphs. Yes. And in our previous lesson, our students learned how to read line graphs correctly using the information or the data that is presented. So what I'm going to do as a recap exercise, I'm going to draw a line graph on the board and then ask my students some questions for them to answer using the information. So the first thing we need with all graphs and charts is a title. And let's see, my title today, we're going to do a line graph about rainfall. So rain, R-A-I-N, and rainfall. So we're looking at the amount of rain that has fallen. So what we need now, we need our 2 lines. What is the line going up known as? Vertical axes, yes. So we have our vertical axes, and our vertical axis needs a label, and it will be rainfall we measure rainfall in millimeters. So rainfall, R-A-I-N-F-A-L-L, in millimeters. Now, what's the next thing we need? We need our numbers. Does anybody remember what we call our numbers on a graph or chart? Beginning with S. Scale, yes. What do we start with at the bottom with a scale? Always the same number, 0, yes. We always start with 0. And this time we'll go up in tens because rainfall in millimeters can get quite high. No, actually, we'll start with 5, then 10, and what comes next? 15, well done, Dan. 20, 25, 30, 35, and we'll stop at 40. And after our vertical axes, we need our horizontal axes. Now, in the previous lesson, we used days, but it doesn't always have to be days. The horizontal axis will usually be a time period. So we did days in the previous lesson. Now we'll do months. So what's the first month of the year? January, yes. So we'll have Jan for January. Then what's the next month? February. March. April. May. So we'll use 6 months. Okay, we've got abbreviations for the different months. So we've got the first 6 months of the year, we're going to look at the amount of rainfall in millimeters. So now, before we do our lines, we need our markers to represent our data. So let's see, I will do some markers. Let's have one here. Here. Okay, so now we've got our markers on the board for our line graph to represent the data. But is it a line graph yet? No. Why? What does it need? It needs lines, yes. The next thing we need to do to complete our line graph, once we've got our data markers, we need to complete our lines. Now remember, a line going up is an increase in numbers or data. A line going down is a decrease, and a straight line means the same. So we'll go here, here, here. Now guys, is it a line graph yet? Yes. Now you can see the line, so we can say it's a line graph. Now, my students can demonstrate their understanding because I'll ask questions about the different data. So guys, in January, what was the rainfall in millimeters in January? So what we need to do is we need to go to January and then look at the scale. 15. You see, this is how we read the line graph correctly. Go to the relevant month or time period and then the scale. But how about February? 35. So does the line go up or down? It goes up, because from 15 to 35 is a rise. How about March? 2. From 35 to 30 millimeters. You see, the line has gone down from 35 millimeters to 30. But then how about April? 20. So up or down? Down again. Now, what about May? So what do you notice between April and May? What does the line do? Straight. When the data is the same, you see in April, the rainfall was how much? 20 millimeters. How much rainfall in May? 20 millimeters. So the same data means a straight line. But then, how about June? What does it do in June? Does it go up or down? It goes up. You see, it goes from 20 to how many millimeters? 30 millimeters. And this is how we can read the line graph correctly, by looking at the categories on the horizontal axes and measuring them against the numbers in the vertical axes. Guys, that was brilliantly followed. Well done. And what we're going to do in today's lesson is we're going to give our students the opportunity to draw and design their own line graphs. So what we've got now is another PowerPoint presentation for our students to observe, listen to, and also practice speaking to get used to the different factors about line graphs. So let's turn to look at the TV screen, please, guys. So let's take a look at our PowerPoint presentation today, drawing line graphs. Yes, let's take another look at line graphs and what they're about, so that when it comes to drawing them ourselves, we know what to do. For example, guys, what is the name of the line that goes up on a graph? Vertical axis. Well done. What's the name of the line that goes across? Horizontal axis. Brilliant. And the thing about a line graph is that you can use different types of lines on the same graph. How many lines can you see here? 2, because we're looking at the data for 2 different countries. The green line, Australia, and the blue line, New Zealand. And what we've got here on the left-hand side, the vertical axis, is the scale of population in millions. And then on the bottom axis is the period of time, in this case, years. So which country has the more population, guys, the most people? Australia or New Zealand? Yes, well done. You see, Australia's line is higher. So the higher the line, the more data. The lower the line, the less data. You can see the blue for New Zealand is lower than the green for Australia. Line graphs are a type of chart used to display information. Yes, like all charts or graphs, we get information. Line graphs always have a title and a vertical and horizontal axes, like you've just found out there and demonstrated. Well done. Line graphs display information using a series of data points called markers. So remember, when you're doing your line graphs, before you do your lines, do your data markers first. These circles here that you draw on your line graph represent the amounts of data. Then when you've got all your data markers done, then you can join them with lines. And that's what we mean by line graph. These markers are connected together by straight line segments. Yes. You can see now that the lines connect the different markers. So now that's a true line graph. Line graphs are used to display changes in data over a period of time. So remember, the period of time can change, but the horizontal axes will always be the time period. We can use days, weeks, months, or years, even hours if it's a daily line graph. The important thing to remember, vertical axes is numbers and horizontal axes is time periods. If the numbers of data increase, the line will go up. And you can see here, the lines going up show the increase. For example, from 15 to 25, up. If the numbers of data decrease, the line will go down. Yes, like here, from 25 to 5, you see the line go down because 5 is a lot less than 25. If the numbers of data stay the same, the line will be straight. Like we seen earlier with our rainfall, the 2 months that had 20 millimeters, it was just a straight line because the data stayed the same. So, is this a line graph? Yes. So the title is always at the top. Potatoes consumed. And when you come to do your line graph today, notice how we have the vertical axes, the horizontal axes, and then it's a good idea to do your data points and your lines in a different color. Okay? Don't do your data points in the same color as your axes. We want this data to stand out so that when we look at the page, we can read it better. Any questions, guys? That was brilliant. Very well done. Welcome back to class. We hope your students enjoyed the PowerPoint presentation so that they can learn more about line graphs, because coming up soon, they have to demonstrate their understanding by designing and drawing their own. But before then, guys, time for our stretch sequence. So let's stand up and push in our chairs. And for this sequence, we'll have a game of Teacher Says. So listen carefully. If Teacher says, we can do. If Teacher doesn't say, don't do. So, Teacher says, jogging on the spot. Teacher says, arms in the air. Teacher says, arms side to side. Teacher says, forwards and backwards. Teacher says stop. Teacher says arms by your sides. Teacher says touch your nose. Teacher says touch your ear. Stands on one leg. Teacher says stands on one leg. Teacher says swap legs. Teacher says swap arms. Swap legs again. Teacher says stand up straight. Teacher says arms by your sides. Into a ball. Well done, guys. Teacher says down into a ball. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Teacher says jump. And teacher says please sit down. And teacher says it's now time for a classroom demonstration of how to draw a line graph correctly. And I'm going to be using my students to do that. So each different student will have a different role to play. Now, what's the first thing every chart or graph needs, guys? So that we know what it's about, what do we need to give it? Title. Excellent, Preo. We need to give our line graph a title. So to do that, we need one of the tallest students to write high up. So Dan, come and join me at the front of class, please. So today, we're going to do a line graph about number of cakes sold. So what I want Dan to do is to write the title of our graph high up on the board here, please, Dan. So number, N-U-M-B-E-R. B-E-R. Number of, O-F, and then cakes, C-A-K-E-S. Number of cakes sold, S-O-L-D. Brilliant. Underline. That's excellent, Dan. So before we've even begun completing our line graph, we know what it's about. All together, guys, number of cakes sold. Down. That was brilliant. High five and a big round of applause for Down, please, guys. So what we need to do now is start designing our line graph. We need our first line. Now, what is the line called that goes from the bottom to the top, guys? Vertical axis is correct. So now I would like Net to come forward and demonstrate how to draw a vertical axis. So starting around here, please, Net, and then draw our vertical axis going up. Let's have a look. Oh, that looks good to me. Does that look okay, guys? A vertical line is a vertical axis. Net, brilliant. High five and a big round of applause to Net for our vertical axes. So the next thing our vertical axis needs is a label. We need to know what the vertical axis is for. So who can give our vertical axis a label? I know. Nadia. Come and join me at the front, please, Nadia. Okay, so in this case, the vertical axis label will be very similar to the title. We're looking for number of cakes. So Nadia, can you write on the side or label number of cakes? M-B-E-R. And then of cakes. C-A-E-S. Brilliant, Nadia. So now we know all we need here, N-U-M-B-E-R. So don't forget B. B-E-R for number. Brilliant. So now we know here our vertical axis is about the number of cakes. Remember I said vertical axis on a line graph is numbers and the horizontal axis will be the time period. Nadia, that was brilliant. Big round of applause for Nadia, please, guys. But now we need our numbers so that when we have our cake sold, we need to know how many. Who can remember what the numbers are called on a vertical axis? Beginning with S. A vertical axis scale. Scale, yes, the vertical axis has numbers and this is known as a scale. So let's see who can demonstrate how to do a scale correctly. Hakbong, can you come and design our vertical axis scale, please? Now, where does our scale always start, guys? 0. Always 0 at the bottom. So Pakbong can demonstrate how to do a scale. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way to 10. We'll do a scale till 10. So you can see how the scale always starts at the bottom, 0, and then up to the top. In this case, 10. So Pakbong, that was brilliant. High five and a big round of applause for Pakbong, please, guys. So now our line graph's taking shape. The vertical axis has its label and its scale. What do we need going along the bottom of our line graph, guys? Horizontal axes. And now I would like Chu to come forward and demonstrate how to draw a horizontal axis. So we've got our vertical axis going here. Chu, can you do a horizontal axis along the bottom for us? Excellent. Keep going a little bit more. That will do us. Okay, so now you can see the horizontal axis is the horizontal line going across the bottom. Chu, that was brilliant. Big round of applause for Chu, please, guys. Okay, so we've got our number of cakes. That's the numbers on the vertical axis. Now we need our time period. And what we're going to be looking at is we're looking at number of cakes sold over a period of days. So I'd like Prel to come forward and write the names of the different days. So Prel, come and join me at the front of class, please. And what we'll do, I think we'll have 5 different days. So what's the first day we'll choose, guys? Monday. O-N. What we normally do on a horizontal axis scale, we'll just abbreviate because the words are too long. So M-O-N is good for Monday. Then Tuesday, T-U-E. And the next day after Tuesday, Wednesday. So W-E-D. And after Wednesday, we have Thursday. T-H-U-R. And then we'll do Friday too. F-R-I. So what we'll say, this is the school cake shop because it's only open when school is open. So we've got the 5 different days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Our horizontal axis is complete. Prel, that was brilliant. High five. Big round of applause for Prel, please, guys. So now we're ready to complete our data. So remember with the line graph, guys, we need our data markers first before we join them with our lines. So I would like Lakgao to come forward and do some data markers for us. But actually, I remember the data markers need to be a different color. So rather than giving Lakgao the black pen, Lakgao, I give you the blue pen now. So come and join me at the front. Always with your data markers and lines, make them a different color. So let's see, guys. On Monday, how many cakes will we have sold on Monday? 3. Okay. So that guy will find 3 and draw a circle. Excellent. Now we go on to Tuesday. How many cakes shall we have sold for Tuesday? 7. Okay. So up to 7 for Tuesday. Brilliant, that gal. But how about Wednesday? 5 for Wednesday. Okay. Can be any numbers on the scale because we're just being creative. Now, what about Thursday? 1 on Thursday. Only 1 cake on Thursday. Okay. And then, how about Friday? 9. Okay. So we can go on Friday. People want to eat cakes for the weekend. So what you can see is Lakgao has correctly demonstrated how the different data markers show the number of cakes sold on the different days. Lakgao, that was brilliant. High five and a big round of applause for Lakgao, please, guys. So is it a line graph yet, guys? No, it's not, because we don't have lines yet. We have our data markers, and the final thing we need to do now is to connect the data markers with different lines. So now I would like Bangpon to come forward, and he has the honor of connecting the data markers with their lines. So always start at the first category. So we start here with Monday and then connect to Tuesday. Okay, and then we go from Tuesday to Wednesday, Wednesday to Thursday, and Thursday to Friday. Brilliant, Bangpon. So now, is it a line graph yet? Yes, it's a line graph now. And we can see that the lines going up show an increase in data from 3 to 7, and the lines going down show a decrease in data from 7 to 5 to 1. Bangpon, that was brilliant. High five, big round of applause for Bangpon, please, guys. And a big round of applause for everybody for doing a great job. And now it's time for our worksheet exercise. So teachers, make sure that every student in your classroom gets their own worksheet. Because what we want them to do now is demonstrate their understanding of line graphs by completing the markers and the line segments themselves. What we've got is a table with the information showing the different followers on a music band's social network, the number of fans that each band has. And what we've got are the 10 different days, which is the time period at the horizontal marker. But each different day has a different number of fans. So using the scale for the number of fans and the different days, our students need to do the time marker for the correct information and then connect them with the right line segments. But what's the first thing we need to do, guys? Names on top first. And teachers, just monitor the class and help our students with anything they need. So, Net, this one's for you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Pakpong. Nadia, for you. You're welcome. Chu, for you. You're welcome. Down, here's yours. You're welcome. Clau, for you. You're welcome. Lakau, for you. You're welcome. And Bangpon, you're welcome. So names on top first, guys, and then look at the information in the table. So what we've got is the days going along the bottom, and then number of fans in the vertical axes. So day 1, how many fans? 300. So we go up, we find day 1 and do the data marker for 300 for day 1. And then move on to the next data marker for day 2. You can do here, yes, for this one, we can go here. You can do the data marker, start right on the vertical axis. Start there and then move on to day 2. But you don't have to do your lines yet, guys. Do the data markers for the 10 days first. And then when you've got your data markers, then connect them with your line segments. Yep, so on this one, you'll start here. So day 1, 300 fans. So day 1 is here, 300. So your first data marker can go there. And then move on to day 2. How many? 500. So day 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's day 1 and day 2 done. Now for day 3. And be careful, day 3 is halfway between because it's 550. And what you'll see when you complete it, guys, you'll be able to tell straight away. Any line going up is an increase in fans. Any line going down is a decrease. And it's a good idea when it comes to using the line segments, have our teachers have our students use the rulers. They can do a straight line with their rulers. Excellent, bang pong, like down. And what you should see, everybody's should look the same. Okay? Excellent, Lacko. Let's see, so we've got 300, so 500, 550, 800, 600, 700, 850, 600. Excellent, Dan. Brilliant. Great to see your understanding, guys. Looking good, Net. That's it, Packbone. Well done. Use your rulers, guys, and then you'll be able to do your straight lines. Welcome back to class. We hope your students enjoyed the worksheet exercise where they had to demonstrate their understanding of drawing line graphs correctly by taking the information from the table to complete the line graphs. And as you can see, the lines going up means an increase in numbers, in this case fans, and the lines going down means a decrease in fans. My students here all did a brilliant job. So guys, that was excellent, very well done. And that's all we've got time for today. So we hope you've enjoyed the lesson and found it interesting and now know how to draw line graphs correctly. And we'll see you again soon for the next lesson. So can we turn to wave and say goodbye, guys? Goodbye. Bye-bye. See you again soon.